Now, our next guest made headlines last week after receiving a suspended sentence for trafficking drugs into the UK.
So Levi Whalley is a former nurse turned influencer who regularly posted about the jet-set lifestyle on social media. So when she was offered an all-expenses-paid trip to New York with her best friend in exchange for carrying a suitcase full of watches, she couldn't resist.
But after travelling back to the UK, officers at Birmingham Airport uncovered £160,000 worth of cannabis in their luggage.
So despite evading prison time, she says her life has been ruined and she faces losing her nursing career for good. So could they really not have known what they were signing up for? She joins us now. Levi, thank you for coming on and chatting about the story. I know it's taken a lot for you to come here, so we appreciate that. So I think most people that are watching or know about the story would say they believe you sort of knew what you were getting yourself into from the start. So can you tell us how you got into this?
So it was my friend. She was approached online. She'd met a girl in Marbella. She messaged my friend. She said, would you like to go to New York and carry some suitcases back? It's just watches. All the expenses have paid. And you will get some money in return as well. And then she discussed it with me and my friend, and then we decided together to come to that conclusion that we would do it. We weren't really thinking about the consequences as such at the time. It seemed a brilliant idea. We were already travelling a lot, me and my friend, that year. I decided to do a year of I wanted to travel as much as I could.
Yeah.
I'd done my nursing career since I was 18. So I just wanted to travel as much as I could that year. So this seemed like a great opportunity. So we then decided to do it.
Was there part of you that just buried what the consequences and what might be in that suitcase? Because even if it's watches, why are you bringing back two suitcases full of watches?
Absolutely. I think I went with the idea that I wanted to go to New York, and it's this glamorous type of lifestyle.
Sure.
And I just thought, why not? I think I forgot what I was actually
doing.
Also,
were you thinking,
I
mean, even if it's watches and it's illegal, what harm can it do if I'm taking watches back to
Yeah, I weren't really thinking about the consequences as such. I was thinking about going to New York and having the holiday. It wasn't until the day on return you had to think about what you was actually doing. So when we actually went to New York, we just enjoyed the holiday, and then on the return, you was then given the case. So then it was, right, what are we actually doing here?
Yeah, because I suppose that's the reality. Up until then, it's probably been DMs and WhatsApps or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel as real.
No.
Then you're at an airport and two big bags are being handed over to you.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're the ones taking that home half thinking now, what have we got ourselves into?
Yeah, I think at that point we was like, this is definitely not watches.
But why didn't you back out at that point, do you think?
I think we felt we was too far deep. The people that we was doing it for, they knew a lot about us.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I was scared. I was definitely scared. I just felt like I was just too far deep. There was at the point of no return, really. Yeah.
So then you had to sort of see it out, which was when you landed.
Yeah.
You just knew something wasn't right. As that carousel came through and your bags, were they the last to come through or something?
They came out, but on the carousel, they came out totally different compared to the rest. Everyone else's bag was laid flat. Our cases came out upright. So I think at that point we knew... at that point, I still thought, can we walk away from here? But we still decided to go ahead and get the suitcases off and walk through customs at that point.
So take us back to New York. How many days were you in New York for?
3 days.
OK, so in New York, all expenses paid, having a great time.
Yeah.
Did you ever have, dinner with your friend and just sit down and go, are we worried about this? Are we sure we're doing the right thing? Or were you just... blinkered by what we're seeing now, which is you having a lovely time and looking nice in pictures?
I think I was... It wasn't until literally the last day. The last day we then thought, right, what
you buried your head in the sand?
Yeah, I was just enjoying the holiday. I wasn't really thinking much...
And did you not think, when your mate... what's your friend?
Sophie.
When Sophie said to you, we've got this opportunity to go to New York, and it's someone I met on Instagram, I know you've done a bit of influencing and so forth, but you're not thinking, how can we trust someone we've just met on Instagram? It just seems crazy. Yeah,
Sophie knew the girl, and the girl had already done the same trip, and there was various of other girls that she showed that had done the same trip, and when we'd done the...
Did they know what they were getting themselves into, do you think?
I don't think
No.
so, no. And then I think even going forward, a lot of people that would probably be poached to do the exactly same thing, they'll be given a completely different story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think they knew what they was getting themselves into at all.
And Levi, I suppose, when you've heard that other people have done it, again, a bit like you're saying with the DMs and everything, you're not thinking of the reality, you're just seeing the result.
Yeah, absolutely. For me at the time, I just wanted to get away as much as I possibly could, and it just seemed an opportunity that I didn't want to miss out on, really. Yeah.
But then the reality was, it must have been a hard-hitting moment when you realise you're actually in trouble with the law.
Absolutely,
this is a lot bigger than you maybe initially thought.
Yeah.
And you've got to tell your family what's happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember when we were at the airport and when we did get caught, I felt my whole world had crashed down. I knew at that point I'd absolutely really messed up.
So you saw your bags aside from the carousel. You then taken aside by customs?
Yes, we were. Yeah, and then we was asked where we'd been, where we'd travelled to. So we'd said New York, and they said, "Why have you been to New York?" So we said a shopping trip, and then that's when they asked if we packed our suitcases.
What did you say to that?
I can't remember if we said yes or no, but then they did ask us for the combination at the time, and none of us knew the combination because we wasn't actually able to even get in the suitcases. I think that's at the point at New York when we knew what we were doing. This is illegal, what we're doing. This isn't right. But we didn't know the combination, so they then forced the bags open, and that's at that point.
And are you looking then at £160,000 worth? So that's the view that you saw when you opened the...
Yeah, it were, yeah.
That's just... Your bottom falls out of your world then, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, my heart, it just sank. It absolutely sank, yeah.
So when you went to get sentenced, were you thinking this is sort of it now?
So we wasn't even charged with the offence straight away. We was released on bail. We wasn't charged until January this year. So we've had 13 months without an actual even charge, which was quite difficult because we've had to literally rebuild our whole life. I went into work voluntarily, and said I've been arrested, even though I hadn't actually been charged with the offence. I voluntarily went in and said that I've been arrested. So straight away, I worked in the private sector. It wasn't actually the NHS, and I was dismissed straight away. So I had to sort of rebuild my whole life because they then informed the nursing council. So since then, I've had to, a job that I've always done, I've had to rebuild my whole life.
Are you nursing now?
No, straight away, because I was honest and went straight in. They dismissed me straight away, and then I had to do courses myself and try and rebuild my life. I did like a facial course, aesthetics course, and I've had to just build my life from then. Something I've always done.
The tragedy is you've got, you've got a qualification there that'd be so valuable to society.
Yeah.
It's your decision whether you want to use it or not.
Yeah.
But it just seems so tragic that that's wasted now.
It's upsetting, yeah, it is. It's upsetting because I loved being a nurse and I loved looking after people. And unfortunately, for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to face this consequence of, you know, it's resulted in for the rest of my life affecting me now because people have had some comments to say.
Well, listen, the Pitchfork Brigade are always going to be the Pitchfork Brigade. But do you not feel... Like, how do you feel?
I feel destroyed by it. I don't want to play the victim, though, because, you know, I did have the opportunity probably to pull out, and I still did choose to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to have to pay the rest of my life for that. And, yeah, I'm destroyed by it. I am really destroyed.
Are you surprised you didn't go to prison?
Yes, I am surprised. I did go with my bag packed ready. I had my numbers in the book. I had everything ready.
God, the relief of that.
Yeah. I did expect prison, but because of certain mitigating factors, which going forward to make awareness for people, because some people may think that, like, oh, they've got away with this, maybe we'd get away with it. I just want to make it aware that not everyone might get a suspended sentence.
Well, this is it. And actually, if you'd been stopped in America, 2013, the average sentence for marijuana trafficking was 37 months. 90.6% were arrested in imprisonment. Maximum prison term could have been 5 years, more than 5 years and less than 10 years.
And it feels, what I would say, very frustrating that in some ways it was all just for social media. It was for the pictures. Yeah. Like Dermot said, you had an incredible career path to be a nurse, to be a midwife. Yeah. And so... Was it almost this strange societal pressure that, you know, like you say, not many people are going to feel sorry for you in this situation.
No, which is fine.
Because of, you know, some of it feels a bit like it was obvious what was going to happen. However, you did do it, and you're not the first person to make a mistake in life. But what was that urge to be showing off on social media? Where did that come from?
I think it's the society that we live in today. It's the society that we live in today. It's all an image. And reflecting back on my life now, I see it totally different. At the time, even though this image looked glamorous, I would definitely say my life now, I want to be more quiet. I want to take a different route in things.
You're off social media now?
No, I'm still on it.
Do you not think you should be off it? Just, I mean, it's your decision, but
I think...
Give it a rest and get on with your life.
Yeah,
you know?
well, to be honest, with all the bad press that we've had, I've not even responded to the press. It was my birthday the day after, so I was just reposting posts that friends maybe had put on, but I haven't responded to anything anyone said. I've kept very quiet with this. So it was just today where I wanted to speak my side of the story about it, but I just want to make awareness to people.
I was going to say, what do you want to get out of this?
So out of this, I want to make people aware that, you know, it's hard to, we want to make people aware that at certain times people may appear that they have this glamorous lifestyle, but you can have some vulnerability as well. And I think at the time, even people might disagree because we look like we were smiling and happy. Normal people wouldn't agree to go and take in a suitcase. Like if I was to ask certain friends, oh, would you bring a suitcase back? They'd say absolutely not. So that shows that there was some instability in ourselves. So I want to make people aware that if you're asked or given these type of opportunities to change your life that we was given, really think about the consequences going forward.
Well, listen, we wish you the very best luck for the future.
Thank you.
And we hope you can rebuild your life and you and your family are happy, all right?
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and we'll see you in the morning.